I want to talk today about, are you aware of the energy that you give off and that the energy that you're taking in? Because I had the most interesting day that really brought me really aware to this energy, because it was just the most bizarre day. And so I got up this morning early, and I was supposed to be on the talk show to the UK, and that didn't end up working because the technology wasn't working, and I had to get my daughter to school. So I was like, I'll just come on another day. And then I was leaving for work, and my friend is staying here with her puppy, and her puppy got out. And so we were like literally chasing the puppy all around the front. And I was like panicking that she was going to get hit by a car because we couldn't get her to go back in. And she's like zooming around the street. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be late for work. And I'm like having a panic attack that the dog's going to get hit. And I'm standing in the middle of the road, and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? How do I get this puppy in? Because his puppy's not listening. He's like, Teddy, come. And he's like, bolts the other way. And so finally, this other lady like stopped with her dogs and tried to get him to come. And then I got over there. And as soon as I tried to reach him, he bolted the other way. And then I like took a deep breath, and I was like, okay, what can we do that's different? And I was like, okay, I'm going to try one thing. If it doesn't work, I'm going to send my daughter in to get treats. And so the other day we had taken him to the dog park, and he was chasing around, and they were playing. And so I was like, I'm just going to pretend we're playing chase, and I'm just going to run right into my house. And so that's what I did. I just started running in my high heels straight into the house. And the puppy came, and we got him in there, and we shut the door. And I was like, oh my God, now I have to get to work. And I'm already 10 minutes later than I should have left. And so I got to work with my kids, and I'm frazzled. And I said to the kids, I said, you know what? I'm frazzled this morning. This is what happened with my friend's puppy who's staying with us for 4 days. And I'm a little frazzled this morning. So I just want you to be aware of that I'm kind of like, I need a little bit of time to just like reset. So this is what we're going to do. First, I'm going to shift the day a little bit. And two, because I noticed yesterday that when we were doing math first thing, you guys were like zombies. You weren't into it. You were like simple questions that should be like, that my grade fives are like, and I was like shaking them. What is 9 plus 9? What's double 9 plus 9? Like things that should be like this in grade 5, they were like, and so I really was aware of that. And so we shifted the day around a little bit just to be like, okay, I need some time to unwind a little bit. I know yesterday didn't work when we did math first thing. Let's try this and see if this helps us today. Because I know too, we're getting close to the end of the year, and people are frazzled, and kids are frazzled, and kids are tired. And so we went through the day, and it was a good day. But my kids are hyper, my kids are vibrating. It's the end of the school year. They have all these mixed emotions. And at the end of the day, after our fake gym, because we couldn't go outside for gym because it's raining and awful here today, and I've got 2 different complete opposite vibrations happening in my classroom. I've got these kids that just look like they are ready to like pass out and fall asleep, and they're so tired and they're so exhausted. And then I've got these other kids on the opposite end of the spectrum that are vibrating like this, like they can't sit still. And I'm like, how am I going to balance this? Because I've got these kids who are like looking like they just like can't even take another minute of school. And that's how I was feeling too. And then I've got these kids that are literally like just bouncing off the walls because they've got so much going on, and it must have been a full moon just like tonight or the last night or something. And I just said to them, I want you guys to be aware of something. We're just going to stop. We're just going to stop. I want you to just take a minute and become aware of something. I want you to look around the classroom. And they look around. I said, can you tell by looking around who is completely exhausted? And they all raised their hands. Yeah, they could tell. They could tell. And I said, we have this energy in our classroom, this energy of just like complete exhaustion. And then I said, we have actually 2 complete polar opposite forms of energy happening in our classroom right now. We also have some people that are vibrating like this. I said, can you just look around the classroom and see? Do you know who's vibrating like this? And I said, I don't want you to point names, nothing. I just want you to raise your hand and tell me, are you aware? And the whole class raised their hands. And I said, okay, put your hands back down. And I said, we got to do something about this, because these two polar opposites are really hard to deal with. When you are feeling like this, or when you're feeling completely exhausted, those are two extremes that are really, really hard to deal with. And so we need to bring that back in, and we need to just settle down a little bit. And I said, those of you who are vibrating, we need to be a little bit more aware of the people who are just wiped out. And those of you who are wiped out, we need to be a little bit aware of the kids who are vibrating, because we need to be empathetic to it and be like, they didn't get outside as much today. Our schedule is a little bit off because of the rain and everything else, and just everything else that we've been through. I said, can we somehow pull it together for the last 40 minutes of the day and just try to bring our energy in a little closer so that we don't have these two extremes in the classroom? I said, I just want you to think about it. And they thought about it for a minute. And then I said, okay, let's try. And they went off and they did their work on their computers, because they have all these different projects that we're trying to finish up. And they were amazing. They were absolutely amazing. All of my kids got to work. They were calm. They did their thing. I had 2 kids that were still vibrating a little bit. But at the same time, we're all energy. All of us are made up of energy. Every single cell in our body is vibrating at a different vibration. And when you walk into a room with your energy, you are affecting people around you. And so are you aware of that? Are you aware of the energy that you're giving off? And something that I'm trying to be really, really conscious of is, what energy am I giving off? And then how can I pull myself back if I need to? Be like, okay, how can I reset? Especially because I struggle from anxiety. So I end up with this anxious energy quite often. And so I'll take a deep breath. And I'll go like this. And that'll be one way that I try to reset when I know I feel myself vibrating, the way that some of my students were. So you can see the puppy's still here. But I just want you to be aware of that. So are we aware of that energy that we're giving off? And how can we reset? So if I'm vibrating like this too, then I know sometimes maybe I need to get my butt to yoga, or maybe I need to go for a run, or maybe I need to sit and meditate. And if I'm completely exhausted, then maybe I need to just take some time for me and lay down, or I need to go out and play in my garden, or I need to just go for a walk. Whatever it is, when you become aware of that energy, just sit with it for a minute and then think about, what is it that I can do to reset or bring myself back to a better vibration, right? Or raise myself into a higher, more grounded vibration where I can actually focus and be the best version of myself. Because I know this morning when I walked into my classroom, I wasn't the best version of myself, because I was like, I just almost I was so scared that the puppy was going to die and get hit by a car. And I was just came in really flustered. And so I was aware of that, and I was able to share that. I was able to share with my class how I was feeling. And that was the whole purpose behind my book. It's okay to feel, and it's okay to be able to tell someone how you're feeling. And I think that's so, so, so important. So my question for you today is, and my thing for you to ponder is, are you aware of the energy you're giving off? And are you aware of the energy around you? And then if you become aware of that and it's not a good vibration, what can you do to just take a moment and reset? Have a wonderful day.